dropped my butter on the ground. Oh, you took the one with the most frosting on top.
You don't know who me I am.
Welcome to Savory Stories, the show where we cook food and make drinks from your favorite book series. And I'm your chef, the Eclectic Wolf. Today's recommendation came from Ray Swain on Twitter, I'll put her handle right down below. And she says, in A Song of Ice and Fire series, I always wanted Sansa's lemon cakes. So, we're going to be making Sansa's lemon cakes specifically from a Game of Thrones series. Now, this series mentions lemon cakes quite a bit throughout the entire series. It is mentioned that they are Sansa's favorite food, and Arya is also quite fond of them.
Lemon cake's my favorite, so we've been told.
So I'm not gonna read anything, but that book has a ton of food inside of it. So if you guys have any suggestions for anything that you wanna see made from that series, leave those in the comments down below and we'll choose something for an upcoming episode. Now, before we get going, remember, winter is coming. So make sure you grab your nice warm jacket, put that on, and let's get started making those lemon cakes. So the first thing that we're gonna need is a cup and a half of warm milk. As I've mentioned in prior episodes, we can just do that by microwaving it. So here we go, we have our warm milk. It's important to note that you don't want hot because we're gonna be putting yeast in it. So you want it to be, I'd say about 110 degrees, because funny enough, yeast is actually a living being that you like refrigerate and then put in your food. And yeast is killed by temperature that is too hot. Before we put the yeast in, we actually need to give it something to eat while it's floating around in that warm milk. So we need a teaspoon of sugar. Mix that around. And now we'll actually want to put in our living mushroom babies. Hopefully you've been keeping it in the refrigerator because you don't want them to die. And we'll take a teaspoon and another 3/4 of a teaspoon. And just mix this all in here. Since these are living things, it is possible for these to die. And so you want to look out for us to make sure that they're not all clumping up together, because clumping up is usually a sign that they're dead. Let this sit for about 10 minutes and wait until it gets kind of foamy. So right here I have a glass container, and you'll want to do something that's like glass or stainless steel. The first time that I tried filming this episode, I was using a bamboo bowl and all of my yeast was dying constantly, so I had to go to the store and get some more. And it turns out it's because bamboo is antibacterial, antifungal or something, and the bamboo bowl that I was using was killing my fungus babies. And we don't want dead fungus babies. They don't do anything. Echo, why are you so sassy? Show! Okay, so we want to make sure that our fungus babies are growing well, so we need to get some children's music. I grew up with Barney.
Today's been really special.
Oh, it was special for me too.
Oh my god, I'm having so many flashbacks. And that is our alarm. Our yeast babies seem to have been correctly activated. As you can see, they've kind of like puffed up to the top and made this like frothiness in the milk. So our yeast babies are all grown up. It's so happy. Oh no, my spoon has dropped in. This is quite the predicament. No, I'm touching all my yeast babies. Ew. Okay, so now we'll want to make the rest of the dough. So you want to grab 1 egg and just dump that right in. We obviously need to put some lemon in to make this a lemon cake. So you'll want to grab some lemon extract, put in a 1/4 teaspoon of that. We'll want to take some almond extract just for a tad bit extra flavor, and we'll put in 1/8 of a teaspoon. We'll want to add some butter in. Hey, poopy paws. No poopy paws. Ah, no, I dropped my butter on the ground. Okay, instead of offering your butter to the poopy paws on the ground, put in 1 tablespoon. Make sure that unsalted butter is nice and soft and melted so that we can just mix it right in. Since that was unsalted butter, put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We need to actually make this into a dough, so we need to add some flour, 1 cup of it. And now the last thing that we'll want to add is some dried lemon verbena. And lemon verbena is not actually lemon, it's a tea that has a very strong lemon scent and flavor. I bought some off of Amazon. It comes in a container like this. It's literally just a bunch of tea leaves. Then we're gonna want to grind them into a powder. Here we'll grab a mortar and pestle. We actually want 2 tablespoons. There's what it looks like. Literally just tea leaves. So we're gonna put that right into our mortar and pestle. We'll start with 1, just so it's not a lot. And we'll start by pounding it and then start grinding. Oh, it smells so herbally. Feels so fancy. So there we go. You need to get a mortar and pestle so you can feel super fancy, like you're a witch making a concoction. Cool, so there we go. As you can see, it's been ground into a pretty good powder right there. So we're just gonna dump that right in. Now we'll get 1 more tablespoon. So there we go, we have our second one into a pretty good round state here. So then we'll just pour that right in. All right, so now that we have our concoction here that we've put everything inside of, we'll want to beat it together into our dough. So get out your mixer and we'll do that. Oh, that is a small container. It's got a nice, pretty liquidy texture to it. Smells very lemony, smells pretty good. So now all we have to do is cover this with plastic wrap, set it aside somewhere warm for about 1.5 hours until it doubles in size. Let the yeast do its work, and then we'll be ready to start cooking it. And we're back, there we go. It's been 1.5 hours. Let us see how our mixture is doing. All right, so it's definitely bubbled up. You can see the bubbles on the top there. It's not as thick as a dough because we put in quite a bit of milk in with the flour, but it's more of like a batter. It's not really gonna be a cake. It's probably gonna be more like a thick, fluffy pancake. Well, I guess that's still a cake. Cake is in the word. Okay, that works. And so we're gonna set this aside and we're going to get our cooking environment set up. Do you want to get a griddle? You don't really need like a fancy griddle, just a flat pan will work pretty good. And then we'll want to set it on high. Oh my God, there's a fight going on back there. Attack dire wolves. My God, it is getting cold. Winter better come already, Jesus Christ. Can't handle this anymore. Good thing we have a nice hot heating element here. So you want to make sure that it's hot enough that when you sprinkle water on it, it starts sizzling. Looks to be sizzling to me. So we can actually start getting ready to actually cook it. So now this is hot, we'll want to turn it down from the highest temperature to probably about a medium. And then we'll want to grab some of these nice circle thingies here. These are muffin tins. If you don't have these, you can actually take something like a tuna container and cut out the bottom and just use the surrounding of it. You probably want to clean it though, because I don't really want tuna lemon cakes. That'd be disgusting. Get some nice butter on there. Butter. Put our pans right on top. Take our batter mixture and just spoon it about halfway. And now we'll want to take some tin foil, pull that out, and just lay it on top. Keep that heat in there. And now, ow! And now we'll just let that sit for about 5 minutes. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see how these are doing. Ooh, they've risen. Interesting. Let's see if they've browned at all. Ooh, they have browned on the bottom. So now that they've browned on the bottom, we just gotta flip them over. Look at that. Actually looks okay. Put over. Boom, look at that. That's turning out pretty nice. Better than I expected, actually. Okay, so now we just gotta wait for another 5 minutes for the rest of it to cook. All right, here we are. 5 minutes back again, and these look to be pretty much done. They've dropped a little bit, but I think they're cooked all the way through, so it's like kind of the density of like a pancake. It's interesting. Like a very thick pancake. So there we go. We have our lemon cake. These aren't entirely done, so we're gonna set these aside and finish up cooking the rest from all the batter that we have left. So I will see you after we do that so that we can finish up these recipes. And we're back. I have cooked all of our nice lemon cakes here, and there we go. They look pretty nice. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting them to look this nice. So now, we're not quite done yet. This is really simple. We're gonna make a lemon glaze for on top. It's super simple. Grab a bowl, get some lemon juice. We'll want 1 tablespoon. And then we'll want 1/2 cup powdered sugar. And then just mix that together until it turns into a nice glazy paste. Does it taste good? Tastes like sugar and lemon, so good to me. So then we'll take our little cakes here and we'll just drizzle that right on top. Now if you remember, we didn't really put pretty much any sugar into these cakes, so they probably won't be sweet at all. So this glaze will provide that sweetness to make it into a nice, pretty healthy dessert. And there we go. We have our lemon cakes from a Game of Thrones. They look pretty good. So I think it's time, before I freeze to death, to call over our taste tester. Aren't you cold? My God.
Aren't you hot?
No, winter is coming. It's freezing out there.
Summer, and we're in California, and you're being ridiculous.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You're sitting in front of a hot stove,
Yeah,
too.
well, obviously I need it to keep me warm.
Aren't you dying?
Yeah, I'm pretty dying. So there you go. Here's our lemon cakes.
They do look very pretty.
I'm a little bit scared. I've never used yeast before. It didn't do exactly what I expected it to, so we're gonna find out whether it actually tastes good.
Make me take the first bite.
Yep.
They do look like just basically tiny, dense pancakes, and that makes me excited.
Hopefully they taste as good as pancakes.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, you took the one with the most frosting on top.
You don't know who me I am.
How dare you? I gotta say, it's not bad.
It's pretty good. I think if there was more sugar in the pancake part itself, it would be better. Because it's kind of like biting into savory bread with frosting.
Yeah, but like it's not super bad. So like like with the frosting on top, I really don't think it needs it that much. Like the frosting adds just enough flavoring to it without being being too little or being overpowering.
The density of it is just amazing. Like the outer part is harder, and then the inside's really dense, but it's also really soft and like warm.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
The inside's a little bit too soft.
No.
Like, it's surprising from the outside because the outside is actually pretty dark and cooked all the way through. So maybe put this in the oven a little bit after cooking it on the stove just to make sure the inside isn't mushy at all. But like ultimately, it's like very dense. It's like a thick pancake.
I like it though with like the soft insides.
Yeah.
But I like soft insided things. That's why I like you.
How dare you? I am hardcore.
So yeah, I'd say that's a success. It's actually a lot better than I expected it to come out.
Yeah, I was expecting this one to be a failure because of the whole thing with the yeast. But you know what? Actually, it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with the result.
Definitely put frosting on it though.
Yeah, I think without the frosting, it'd be too plain. So maybe if you don't want to put frosting on it, put some more sugar into the actual recipe. It'll add more flavoring to the actual cake.
Oh, that lemon taste in it though is really good.
Yeah, it's very, very natural tasting.
It's more mellow than if it were like purely actual lemon, like the leaves.
Yeah, and that tea is really surprising. It really adds a nice mellow lemon flavor to it.
Yeah, it's like lemon but less acidic.
You're in my way, I'm trying to do my outro. Well, that was it guys. That was Savory Stories making Sansa's lemon cakes from the Game of Thrones. I thought it turned out pretty well. So if you guys enjoyed that video, leave us a like down below. If you thought that it was neat, you want to do it at home, you want to see us make something else, leave us a comment down below. We want to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed, please go down there and press that subscribe button. That helps us out a lot. And if you are subscribed, ring that little bell so you get notified whenever we release a new video so you can go and immediately make this. We release this on Fridays so you can make it over the weekend. Wolf out!